we have with us an amazing personality. I met him about a couple of years back and I was simply awe with his achievements. He is just 20 years old now, but he started his entrepreneurial journey when he was in school. He and his brother, they are twins. They are considered to be one of the most influential people by Forbes under 30. So one of the brother is with us today, and his name is Yashraj Bharadwaj. So Yashraj, thanks for sparing time.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
So Yashraj, I will start with a very basic, obvious question. When you started your entrepreneurial journey, as everyone is
Yeah.
aware, when you were in school, at that time, which standard you were?
So we both, me and my brother, that is Yuvraj, we both are 20 years old right now, and we started like entrepreneur. So firstly, we started with research. I would say, yeah, I think we were in fifth standard that point of time, and sixth, seventh onwards, we started doing business. So it's been like around, I would say, 6 years we are into this field, and it's going awesome.
So Yashraj, all this thing happened when you were in fifth or sixth standard.
Yeah.
But what prompted you to get into research at such a young age? What was the motivation?
Exactly. So I mean that's something really interesting that I really wanted to share, and I do share that in any of the media talks or wherever I go. So we both used to play cricket before, and like I come from a family wherein my dad was a national level gold medalist in swimming, and everyone in the family was completely into sports. They were doing so well. So we also a lot into cricket and all. Right now, through my physique, you won't get it, but yeah, that point of time it was quite good, quite better. So we started playing cricket, and luckily, Dad got us into this academy called LB Shastri Cricket Academy. That's there in Bharat Nagar in Delhi, wherein we started playing professionally. And we used to net, day and night. We were playing a couple of tournaments related to cricket, and it was like we were just living our dreams. The main problem is that, every middle class parent or a family has a typical mindset that their kids should do something wherein their career is really secure. And, they have a proper finances being at home and all, or everything is being sorted. So I would say, like, our parents, everyone's parents, they think just best for them. So even our parents thought the same because we were coming, that point of time, we come from like a lower middle class sort of a family. We know what are the issues those ways. So, unfortunately, we were nearly the toppers in the school. So they wanted us to focus on studies and, do become an engineer or a doctor or something like that and leave cricket aside because they thought that, it's really hard to get in. It's a lot of struggle. They thought that, we might fall apart. We might, lag behind that, that can be a, like I would say, risk to our career. So we left cricket. What happens is like most of the times when you leave something which is so close to your heart and still cricket it is. Like, I'm still the biggest fan of I would say Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and I really don't tend to miss any match. I'm always there on my phone, or if I'm at work, I'll really watch it. So when you like leave something which you really love, there are a lot of instances that you cannot forget, and you just feel that whatever may be the problem, and you become too much anxious to solve that problem first because that's the problem that made you leave that thing that you loved most in your life. Something similar happened with us. So now, after leaving cricket, we were like normal kids going to school in the morning, coming back in the afternoon. Had only one home tuition to attend. We're quite free. We started watching on various shows like Doraemon, Jetsons, and that's how it was a good start for us. And we got really fascinated that how come these science fictions cartoons, are able to showcase these sort of amazing technologies. And what if we could build something? So, and this was a time wherein we shifted our focus from these cartoons to National Geographic, Discovery Channel, all of that. And there was a show that used to come that point of time by Curiosity by Professor Stephen Hawking. And my brother Yuvraj was quite fascinated about it. We started then reading a lot of books about astrophysics, and just we were just getting into research this way, and we were just getting fascinated every day. So we used to go. Our dad used to take us to this book market that's there in Daryaganj. Every Sunday morning, you can buy like second-hand books They're at a very cheaper price. So we used to go there, get a lot of books to read, read them out in just a 1 week's time and then go again by the next week. This all was happening, and it was good. We were just learning new stuff. But like if a fifth class student is reading quantum mechanics, you can understand that there would be a lot of doubts at this kid's mind. So then we started, approaching a couple of people who could mentor us that point of time. But I would say, unfortunately, that point of time, there was no such innovation platforms that are being run by country, which are being run by country these days, like Atal Innovation Mission or Innovation Cell in MHRD. It was not like that. Anything like was like this wasn't before anywhere. So what we used to do then, whenever we were watching these shows on Discovery and National Geographic, we used to take out names of these people, and we used to, take out the phone numbers, take out the Skype IDs, take out their email addresses, and we started literally spamming these guys. And we just used to ask them that this is where I belong from. I cannot afford to come down to, Cambridge to read this, but this is something where I'm stuck and I need your help to help me out. And I would say after 6 months of time frame, the level of doubts actually quite increased, in a good standard, because now our doubts were making senses. And then we started getting responses from the people. That was a time wherein we got in touch with amazing people like Robert Zugreen of Pioneer Aeronautics,
And
Lawrence
you
Scott
also
from
played
University of
some
Cambridge.
and you also played some tricks creating fake profiles. Would you like to
Yeah,
elaborate on that?
yeah, that's what I'm coming next now. So then this was the good part. But like right now, still, there were certain professors who were not replying us. And my brother, Yuvraj, he's a very, I would say, shrewd guy that he came up with an innovative idea of making fake IDs of beautiful girls on Facebook. So what we used to do is we used to make a fake ID, send the friend request to these professors, and we literally made various Bollywood actresses asking doubts of quantum mechanics to these professors, and that's how we were sorting out our problems.
But these
Uh,
professors actually believed that Bollywood heroines are asking doubts about quantum
they
mechanics.
believed, actually. The thing is in most of the, if you observe, like most of the Facebook profiles, like even the girls coming up from, like, I would say, conservative background, they tend to post pictures of the Bollywood actresses. So they certainly got an idea that there is someone behind. I know that was really wrong, but we were just in, I would say, sixth standard at that point of time, so we can't help it. We just did it, and I'm just sharing with you with an apology that, yeah, whatever I did was quite wrong in those terms. So this is how, we were clearing our doubts. And by this way, we wrote one review paper, and that how we can make a nucleon to travel the time. And that became this like star for us, because a couple of media houses started covering us. And I would say that was a moment that we realized, yeah, this is something that we want to do whole of our life. And we were just going through. And there was a science museum in Pragati Medan. We launched this program called National Innovation Mission. I'm really sure that you know about that typically. So we therein they select research scholars from category A and category B. Category B is for the normal students, school students. Category A is for PhD scholars. And by, like, I would say, by doing various efforts and making a good projects and all that, we got selected in category A, research scholar category. So they used to give us like around 1,500 rupees as a compensation and reimbursement. So that was like good for us. From
So
sixth
you
standard
got
onwards, we both also decide one thing.
you got selected in A category,
Yeah,
which was reserved for PhD scholars or MTech
yeah,
scholars
exactly,
while you
exactly,
were in school.
exactly. Because I would say that
And
the projects were,
in which standard? Seventh standard?
it was in seventh start. The projects
Okay.
that we made was quite, they were make sense. And also, I would say that the administration that was there, and they were really helpful. They knew that we were kids. They could help us with food. They could help, they were taking care of ourselves, like their proper advisors and mentors to us. So I would say it was a very good ecosystem to work, honestly. And but this was a time then we started realizing that why the number of research, like now, if you ask any parent, any middle class parent, they would not want their kids to do BSc, MSc, or courses in applied sciences. They would want them to do civil services, engineering, doctor, all that. Why the number of researchers are less in India? Because research is a very less paid job. Very honestly, I'm saying this. And research also is very improbable. If you are doing research and you know what you're making, then you're not doing research. You're just marketing, right? I say it this way. So, but we then decided that we just need to figure out a business model wherein we also wanted to make money. We wanted to be independent, and also we wanted to do research throughout our life.
So, Yuvraj, as you said, that you have started getting into innovation and even started earning while you were in school. So, since when you have become independent in that way?
So I would say like typically from sixth standard onwards, we became independent because we were getting this money from the innovation programs, and also started doing one thing, two things I would say. One was like in summer vacations time, a lot of kids have these science projects which they want to be made. So we started picking up those projects. We would charge like 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 2,100 rupees for like making science models. That was a good revenue we were doing, and also simultaneously we had a lot ongoing in terms of and various other competitions, and only those competitions that had cash prizes involved, because that could fetch us good money. And we went also started going to a lot of tech fests of various IITs, and various other institutes, engineering colleges. Where and these colleges, they have a good cash prizes involved. So we started going there, and touch wood, we were doing good. We were making good money out of that.
So, I was told that many times you were called as judges for some of these competitions, and you used to refuse to be a judge on a competition, but as you were keen on becoming
Exactly.
a participant. So, would you like to share?
Exactly. Eighth or ninth standard, because we always just wanted to build up our finances, and there were certain science events, so we used to watch like these events coming up every year. And if an event has like cash prize of, I would say, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh rupees, my intent was something that I will have all of my teams going there, and I just want to get this money with me. And on the other hand, these guys are inviting us as judges for the event, so we would refuse because we just wanted to participate. Because being a judge, I'll just get a memento. Being a participant, if I win, I'll get some money. So I mean, and that's important to run my research work, ongoing research work, and fund myself on my various other of my expenses. So that was quite important, very important rather.
And when you first filed your patents,
So yeah, that's also about the story. So when we were doing all these research work in astrophysics and all, we used to simultaneously read a lot of research papers on various websites like ResearchGate, Academia, and all of that. And I personally come from medicine background, and I was very much fascinated about biology from the beginning itself. So, and we read this one research paper on Academia, wherein a scientist was using apple to purify the water. And if I talk about the apple, I mean, it's approximately 150 a kg. Nobody can afford it in bulk to purify the water. But we got our intent that if we can make a very cost-effective water purification system, because that point of time, the Ganga regeneration program was on a mass scale, and it was totally on media. And we just wanted to make a water purifier, and so that we could make money. PlayStation 4 was a very new thing that point of time in the market. So definitely we wanted to purchase that. And being honest with you that still we don't have it, because that moment we wanted, but the focus was into work and all. Now we can't buy it off because we think that it's going to be a distraction to the work. So we then started doing research. We made this project called pumpkin purifier, wherein we were using pumpkin to purify the water, and we were also mining metal out of the water. We were doing mining of lead, chromium, arsenic from the wastewater itself. It was a good project. We wrote down the research paper, and when you're doing research, you get something in your hand, and out of a lot of efforts of 2 years, I would say, then we just ran down completely. We went to various big science fairs, various big technical festivals. We did all across. In just 6 months, we could make money of somewhere around 25 lakh rupees in just cash prizes. So this
oh,
was such a hit project, I would say. And we presented nearly everywhere. And one fine day, so I'll tell you that this was a moment we were just so high in our life that the money that we made, if eighth class student, I would say, if he has 25 lakh rupees in hand, you can now understand that what this kid will do. We were just living on clouds. We could fund all of our friends in the school canteens. We wanted to have most expensive stuff to go to school, and we were just wasting money. I'll be honest too, because we never saw this money altogether. And when this was happening simultaneously, research work is also going. So it's also wherein previously we used to bargain stuff. That if I'm getting a motherboard at a cost of 1,000 rupees, I would negotiate. But this time I won't negotiate. I would buy it for 1,500 rupees online. That's how we started wasting our money into the research as well. We're not optimizing cash. And simultaneously, we got an offer from a US based firm. They wanted this project of ours. And these guys called us Bangalore that point of time. We were in first time in our life, we were in the plane. We stayed at a five-star property. An amazing life, I would say. And these offered us that this is the project that we are ready to take it forward, and we will give you $500,000 as your license fees every year if you give this project to us. And you just tell me that, for example, if any kid gets an offer of getting $500,000 at the eighth standard, nobody's going to even negotiate. You will just say yes. So we did the same thing. And after this thing, they wanted us to submit our patent documents. And if you can submit your intellectual property rights, we had no clue that what patents are till that point time. And we just went down back, came back to Delhi. We saw that now we don't have any more money left because all of that was nearly wasted. No science fairs coming up because that was all sort of examination timings. And we went back to a couple of lawyers. We told them that this is due to the various stupid publicity of this research paper of pumpkin purifier into the media. It was all across the internet. And now they say that we cannot get a patent because it was all across internet already. People were doing it already themselves. And simultaneously, we had no money left because they wanted 1.5 lakh rupees as a fees. This was a movement that was the biggest setback for us till now. That we had a big project in our hand. We wanted to cash it up. We could have made a big firm out of it, but it never happened. We just came back to home and we locked ourselves. For 2 months, we didn't do anything. I'm always thankful to my parents that they were the ones who really support us really well. They thought that we were doing great. They told us that you guys can do wonderful. Just concentrate more on about your research and cut down your expenses. Come again to be attached to the roots again, and touch wood. With God's grace and with blessings, we could make another project in just 1 month after these 2 months. That was Bajra purifier. And this time we were using pearl millet Bajra to conduct the same process. So previously, pumpkin project gave an efficiency of 78%. This Bajra was giving out an efficiency of 98.6%, and it was 10 times cheaper than the pumpkin purifier. So now, first of all, what we did was we went to patent office that's there in Dwarka. We learned a complete procedure there that how we can be our own representatives because we had no money to afford a lawyer. So by being our own representatives, we filed one complete patent application, which costed us, I would say, 9,000 rupees, which we borrowed from dad. And that was the start. Then, because in India, it takes 4 years for you to get a grant of the patent. So what people do is when the patent is published, and there are a lot of websites like WIPO and all of that, you can start commercializing the project. Because if you wait for 4 years, the technology will get older. So
And where you were doing all these experiments?
This was something in school laboratory, also National Innovation Mission, Madan, and also at various independent labs because we were in touch base with a lot of professors because we were really, I would say, I would quote as a term of stalkers because we could not leave them. We were just always spamming nearly everyone, and that's how we could help ourselves. And so basically, like for example, if I talk about Bajra purifier, herein there were a lot of methods include like ICP, that is inductively coupled plasma spectrometry, a lot of various scientific processes. So we could take help from people that how we can do tests through pH levels and match a report with an ICP machine by using math calculus. So it was all we were just things stuff and trying to do things on our own. And this project we filed a patent successfully. We went back to this US company again in Bangalore. We told them that boss, this is what we have made, and this time the project is 10 times cheaper. This time the project is much more efficient. Now you tell us how much you're gonna pay. So that point of time, we had no sense of financial or models or business model. So it's like so I'm a Hindu. So in Hinduism, it's a typical slangs that when you give a shagun to anyone, you give some amount of 11 rupees or 21 rupees, 101 rupees. So we just clearly told them that we are expecting a sum of 11 crores from your end, clearly,
Hmm.
as in top of a shagun. So we started negotiating. So we closed on the deal of somewhere around 7.5 crores per year as a license fees.
So about
And that's
$1 million.
exactly. So that's how we got this thing. In patent, this thing is like that you make a patent and then you outsource it, and you get a license fee every year. Now, after doing this transaction, we already know that we what we want to do. After getting this money, we were in touch with a lot of researchers like us. We nearly hired all of them. We told them that whatever projects that you guys gonna do now from now onwards, you will do it for us. And we formulated a
So
company
you
in Dad's
hired
name.
PhDs, MTechs and PhDs?
Not these great people, but yeah, we hired people of our age. People of our
Okay.
age, people of 20, 22, grassroots level researchers. Those are making good stuff. That so we now already also knew various parts of corporate governance after doing one transaction with this big corporate. So we made a company from a team of 9 people to we made it 24 and then 54, and right now we have like researchers approximately, I would say, 375 researchers working with us. We have
So
operations
so
majorly.
375 researchers are working with you currently.
Exactly.
And
And
and those are like students like you, youngsters like you, or now they are very senior
the
researchers also.
no, we have good young researchers as well, and also other than this, we have good great researchers as well, because we simultaneously started when after this 1 year of this project that we outsourced, we started IT business as well, because research is a very improbable thing. We always do research with the mindset that if something is gonna come up, we don't know what's gonna be the conclusion. We wanted something at the back end to support all of my administrative costs. So we started doing IT services as well. Now we have a professional structure altogether. We have our headquarters in Dubai. That's where Yuvraj stays in most of the times. I stay in Delhi. We have offices in
And
Hong
you
Kong,
stay in Delhi.
Shenzhen. Yeah, we have offices in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Bombay. We are starting stuff. So it's like in Gurgaon we have a big office. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
And now, what kind of projects you are doing, and which international firms you are working with?
So basically, I mean, in the IT part, we are doing a lot of government tenders. We do a lot of system integration projects, control command centers, hardware supplies. That's I would say a back end of my business. The main business that we still do is research. We started this thing that all of my research collectively, I would say in our firm we have our associations with somewhere around 128 patents as of now. We have products, various research projects in terms of healthcare, brain-computer interfaces, agriculture, and all of these technologies. So what we do is we now make do research solutions for various corporates and various governments and various societies. That's what
And
we do
how
now.
many of these 128 patents which you have currently you have commercialized,
Nearly 69 to 70.
and it is earning revenue for your company?
It is earning revenue for us, for our researchers as well. We have, because the main innovators, I would say that we are sort of not an online, but yeah, we are sort of a patents aggregator, a marketplace wherein we know that what technology we can sell to whom. And we have been working with various governments, various corporates, recently trying to start our operations in Kenya now. And other than this, we also run a private equity. We do investments in various startups and all of that. And also, we are in talks with various big houses in India to do an innovation school in Gurgaon.
So currently,
And
what is your revenue?
uh, it's doing well. I cannot, due to lot of purposes, I cannot put it on media, but we're doing really well. And that's what we just want to, So there is a story. I will share one more story with you. When so I we really wanted to move abroad and go study there, because it's always everyone's dream that to go to like a university like Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, and living a good life there and studying there. And after doing a 12th standard, we got good offers from various universities. one admission counselor from Canada. She
Okay,
was
so
very, speaking really crap things about India, being an Indian woman. She was saying, she was being rude to my mother, telling her that why can't you, tell these people to move abroad? They have a good future in Canada, US. They can't do any stuff in India and all of that. I think that was a moment that it really hit us hard, and we took it as a challenge. My brother tore the admission offer in front of her. We told her very clearly one thing, that for the next 4 years, we are also here in India. You are going to be at the Canada with your students. Let's see who makes a global company first. So I feel that we want to make a global brand out of India in terms of research, something like IBM, Microsoft has been doing all of their lives. And I think it is possible.
and uh, you also give opportunities to school dropouts, college dropouts to work with you, right?
Yeah,
So
we have a lot of kids and people texting us up, and they want to join us. They have got interesting projects. We have a set background. First, we see their past projects. So still, we whenever we hire a researcher, we don't see their degrees. We don't, because even I don't have a degree right now. I'm not qualified to be a researcher. So I'm just a 12th standard pass out. So we don't see their degrees. We don't see their marks. But yeah, the thing that we see is we see their past projects or the projects that they're working right now. If it fits to the current commercial parameters of our company, then we hire them, and and then we have them on board. Do a lot of stuff for us.
Yashraj, let's close down on this very positive note. We are pretty sure that your and Yura's story is going to be extremely inspiring for our youngsters. Thanks
Thank
for
you so much.
joining this interesting discussion. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much, sir. Take care.